Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Star Rail, where now you're looking at this picture, the new drip marketed character coming, and you're thinking, no, this looks like Zenless Zone Zero. It's Zenless Zone Zero, right? Isn't it? No, it's not. This is Honkai Star Rail, and this is Rappa, a 5-star imaginary erudition character coming to the game. So, yeah, very much a surprise. I love the colors, bursting with color, but wow, graffiti crazy. I've heard that she's like a rap artist or something. Kind of crazy about rap, graffiti, and comics. Like, yeah, a really Zenless Zone Zero vibe character for sure. I'm guessing that she's probably from Punk Lord, which is the world that Silver Wolf is from. She even has a bit of a Silver Wolf vibe to me. I definitely would like to see that sort of cyberpunk world in Star Rail. Could be really cool, and their take on cyberpunk, that'd be quite fun. I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 at the moment. I don't think it'd be quite that vibe. That's very dark. But yeah, let's check out her lore, and then let's talk about what an imaginary erudition could mean and who this might be good for. But stars above, everywhere doth evil lurks. Under the witness of the solemn skyscraper, recite your final words. 3 gunshots. The winner has been decided. My cosmic ninjutsu methods are ever changing. Better look next time in your next life. A peculiar girl who appears in Penacony. So we are, I guess, going back to Penacony for patch 2.6. Interesting. Yeah, all the LaFu stuff going to be wrapped up. Yeah, all right. Beckett, who appears in Penacony like a flashbang at the darkest hour of night, identifying herself as a ninja. So nothing screams stealth like the bright red leather jacket. Attributing everything in the world to quote-unquote ninjutsu, upholding the recitation of ninja mantra, creating dazzling ninja seals, and mastering ninja techniques. The way of the ninja involves rap, graffiti, and comics. That's true. You know, ask any Japanese person. That is fundamentally what the ninjas were all about. It's history, not fantasy. It's history. Through rigorous self-discipline, she roams the stars, upholding justice and righteousness. Oh, as a member of the Galaxy Rangers. She relentlessly pursues the villain known as Evil Ninja Osaru, chasing them to the very edge of the cosmos. Wow, okay. Please tell me that Evil Ninja Osaru is going to show up as a boss on Penacony. How cool is that? And please, can we see more Boot? I mean, Boot Hill rerun is due at some point. That'd be cool. Boot Hill back in the story. Galaxy Rangers teaming up in Penacony again. An evil ninja. That could be super fun. I do feel like my initial impression seeing this, they usually put the more hyped character as the first character of a patch. Not always, but usually it's more sort of like the lead character, you know, the bigger seller. That's my vibe. Maybe that I'm wrong on that. I mean, Rappa to me feels like very much a side character, a fun character, compared to, let's say, Fei Xiao, right? And yeah, Fei Xiao definitely feels like main character material, like a general of the LaFu, just crazy. So yeah, is she from the LaFu? No, she's not from the LaFu. She's from the other place, a general of the CN show. But Fei Xiao, I think it's very, very strong main character vibes, and you know, it's sort of the climax of a 2-patch story returning to the LaFu. So I think that works quite well. Then it seems like going back to Penacony, this seems like a lower stakes thing. This seems like, okay, we're going back to Penacony, and it's going to be like at least one patch, a little bit more lighthearted, maybe. Well, I mean, we'll see. There's probably going to be the drip marketing for presuming there's a second limited character tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But this looks to be a bit more lighthearted, a bit of fun. I thought, for example, the side quest with Boot Hill and Argenti in it, where you're managing the hotel front desk in Penacony. That was probably my favorite quest in the entire game. Hilarious. There's huge potential for this to be super duper fun. So yeah, she looks to me honestly really fun, cool, colorful, pretty interesting. Looking at the characters in the background, there's a kind of fun little characters as well. Again, very comic booky, cartoony. I'm curious what they're gonna do with her. One thing that's interesting, like, she doesn't have like the Robin vibe. I mean, she is a rapper. I wonder if she's gonna rap. Like in game, is there going to be, presume they could well do rap music and all of that. Reminds me, even visually reminds me of KDA from League of Legends and how insanely popular that is. This could be Star Rail doing that sort of thing. In comparison to Robin, though, Robin was like set up patches in advance. Like as soon as we got to Penacony, everyone was talking about Robin, Robin, and then Robin was killed and blah blah blah. And she went through the story. Like Robin was really hyped up and built up before she came out as a character. Rappa's just kind of dropped out of nowhere. There hasn't really been any foreshadowing of Rappa, as far as I'm aware, anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Like it would be kind of cool if she did some rap stuff in game, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be as big of like a big marketing push and focus as it was with like Robin and getting Chevy in to do all the singing and all of that. Her weapon's pretty cool. It looks like a giant shuriken, I think. Massive shuriken, pretty fun. But let's then talk about this. Imaginary erudition. That is very interesting. I've heard people saying that she could be a break character, which would be very spicy. I will say, my initial reaction on seeing imaginary erudition was, what have you done to Screwlum? Where is Screwlum? Man, I am waiting and waiting for Screwlum as a character. He is such a fantastic character. I think a lot of us are waiting for Screwlum. I've heard that Dr. Ratio, that his kit was the original Screwlum kit. And then people saying that, oh, well, maybe Screwlum will be imaginary erudition in the future. Well, now we've got an imaginary erudition, so I don't think we're getting imaginary erudition Screwlum anytime soon. Unless it is as a 4-star, which, I don't know, would that be good? Would that be bad? I mean, 4-star hurt is insane. I think people probably more so want Screwlum as a 5-star. But yeah, I like there's not that much imaginary left for Screwlum to fill in. Maybe, like, they power crept Clara very obviously with Yoon Lee. They could do an imaginary nihility with Screwlum and very much obviously power creep Welt. That could be kind of interesting. I mean, Screwlum doesn't necessarily have to be imaginary, but I think it does, it sort of fits his character perhaps the best. And erudition, again, fits his character very much, but they don't have to fit the character to their paths or role in game. They can mix it up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with old Screwy boy. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you expect about Screwlum? But yeah, imagining erudition. Let's imagine first that she is a break character. Boothill, Hunt, Firefly, Destruction. This could be a break erudition. I think that would fit fairly well. You're covering each of the different roles. There's still Nihility still to go for the damage. I mean, that could totally be something they could do and spread the break around. If she is break, now those other break characters, Boothill and Firefly, can implant their weakness type into the enemy. If Rappa can do the same, implant imaginary weakness, okay, that's actually quite useful as break because, well, guess what? Imaginary Trailblazer exists and is imaginary. And is, implanting imaginary weakness is pretty huge there. It's pretty good. Now, compared to poor old Boothill doesn't really have anyone to make use of his physical implant apart from himself. He's more of a lone ranger, I suppose, maybe appropriately. Firefly, her fire implant is arguably a little bit better because that works with Gallagher and is going to work with Ling Sha as well, who's said to be sort of better Gallagher. But I think the imaginary implant is pretty solid. That's pretty good. So that's pretty interesting. And if you do break them with imaginary, they're also delayed. So you've got more time to super break. So I would guess if she is a break character, she's going to work really well with Super Break. And that could be extremely strong because Super Break is bananas. That could be very good, actually. She could also be really strong for Apocalyptic Shadow, even though she's Erudition, which typically is not considered to be too useful for Apocalyptic Shadow, I'd say. It does have some niches, though. Even Memory of Chaos, I mean, just look how good Break Himiko has been. Break Himiko has been a mainstay now for the last few patches. Like a break erudition could actually be really good there, so a lot of Apocalyptic Shadow, you can be fighting sometimes like 5 enemies, like when Cocolia summoned in the 5 different ice pillars in phase 2, or she had the 2 ice pillars plus Japard in phase 1. The Doomsday Beast has got the 3 parts and already has inherent imaginary weakness. Yeah, I mean, I could see erudition actually being kind of useful. So I'm intrigued by that, and presumably she would be very strong for Pure Fiction, where obviously Boothill is not good, and Firefly can be good, but it's a little bit harder to play. She would presumably fit in very well the more enemies there are, but she could still be very strong. Like I think potentially, I'm curious how she'll end up. I could even see a Imaginary Break Erudition actually being pretty darn good single target. Like you break them, and Imaginary Trailblazer just rips them apart. Like that could totally work. So I'm very, very curious about this. I have to be honest, I'm very curious. If she's not Break, if she's just a general imaginary erudition, that's probably not as exciting to people. I mean, I look at Jade. I think Jade is a fantastic AoE damage dealer. But there was really no hype around her. And Argenti coming back, God, that did even worse. Like those banners just did not get many people pulling on them. Personally, I would actually love to pick up Jade. I think she'd be really useful. And you do see a lot of people struggling with Pure Fiction. But yeah, I think that Rappa would have a lot more potential if she was Break, because that opens up Apocalyptic Shadow in a big way. And like I said, if she implants Imaginary Weakness, Harmony Trailblazer starts popping off. So that could be pretty exciting. I would love to see. It's kind of a little bit disappointing, perhaps, that we've got now 2 characters, and now, we'll come back to Aventurine could go very well with her, but Gallagher and Ling Sha both being fire obviously synergize much better with Firefly. It's a pity there's no Break focused physical or imaginary supports. I do think Aventurine could weirdly be good with her if she's a regular damage, or if she's got follow-ups. Great synergy with Aventurine. If she's Break focused, I mean, you could totally run like Rappa, Imaginary Trailblazer, Ron May if you've got her, and Aventurine, and that could actually be quite strong. Like, yeah, you won't have the follow-ups for Aventurine. He might have to skill a bit more often, but Aventurine does a lot of toughness damage, and it's imaginary. So if she implants Imaginary Weakness, Aventurine will be like shredding that. You'll be shredding them. You'll absolutely rip their toughness bar off. That could be a really cool combo as well. So I'm very intrigued. Definitely more so if she is Break focused. I think if she's not Break focused, it's going to be tough to make this an exciting sell, because you're going to have to give her a lot to make her work in the more single target potential game modes. I do think with Jade that she's a bit underrated in other game modes. You kind of want like 3 targets for Jade to really pop off. And of course, then with Jade, she had her E1 that makes a really good single target. And I'm sure we'll see that with Rappa as well. As an erudition, I'm sort of expecting they will give Eidolons that will make her really good elsewhere. So yeah, this is spicy. If you are a super Break player, you've got Ron May and Imaginary Trailblazer and all the rest. She might be better than Ling Sha. She's coming right after Ling Sha. Now, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Ling Sha proper showcases and stuff in the preview, which I'll react to, the official live stream this Friday. And then I'm really excited for whenever the content creators actually get to release proper previews of her. I'm very hyped for Ling Sha. But, I mean, you can always just use Gallagher. And maybe Rappa could be more useful to pull. I don't know. I'm kind of expecting Ling Sha to be nuts, seeing as Gallagher is so nuts. Like, she has to be crazy. Gallagher's already, in my opinion, kind of overpowered. So Ling Sha's got to be crazy. But that's kind of tough. Ling Sha and Rappa back to back. That's a lot. For me, I'm going for Fei Xiao because I'm more of a follow-up player. I was definitely thinking about Ling Sha. I mean, here's the thing. By the time we get to the Ling Sha banner, it is the final banner. You can pull Ling Sha on the final day if you have to, and you will be able to see Rappa previews and make your decisions. Like, all of the test server embargoes and stuff should be lifted. So you'll be fine. You'll even see the next patch as well. But it's definitely an interesting question for if she is a Break erudition, what's better for you? Ling Sha? Kind of like Gallagher, but arguably better and could be nuts and very future-proof as like the ultimate Breaks sustain. Or Rappa, who could be opening up a whole new element and helping your Breaks teams to scale well into Pure Fiction. I don't know. Let me know what you think about all of it. I am very curious. I'm very curious what you think, but there you go. Rappa. I kind of went into this, looked at her. My initial thought was not excited. Okay, she looks kind of cool, but the potential for the gameplay and honestly, the fun vibes, I think the fun vibes could actually be really cool in a patch. I could really enjoy that. And if Boot Hill's in there, count me in, sign me up, let's go. And yeah, she has potential to be an interesting character as well. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you tomorrow for, the next drip marketing. We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.